this is Sule from Pomona, California, Zone 10A. Today is June 29, 2021. And I've had this society garlic for a while now. I did get it at a plant exchange. So I have not been taking care of it as well as I should. So today I'm going to take out all the dead parts of it, and I'm going to be up potting it to that better looking pot, because right now it is in a 5-gallon pot, but this pot is actually falling apart already due to the weather, because it gets really hot here. The plastic pots, they really don't last. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that due to this dead matter, but yes, it does break apart very easily. I think these buckets only last me about 2 to 3 years, 3 years max. But yes, anyways, I am going to be up potting this society garlic, and hopefully I can extend its life and it will continue to do great for me. And in case you didn't know, society garlic is edible. I like to eat the little flowers. They're so good. They taste just like garlic. All right, so let me put you up on the little tripod and we'll get this society garlic up potted. Now, I do want to warn you that what you're about to see is going to seem very brutal. You're going to think that I'm trying to kill this poor plant, but believe you me, that's not going to happen. The plant is extremely healthy. The roots are extremely strong and healthy as well. So it's not going to die. Believe me, it's not going to die. I am going to be brutal with it, but I need to be brutal because I want to separate this big lump of society garlic and plant it in pieces throughout my garden. So again, it's gonna look brutal, but believe me, the plant is not gonna die. And I'm separating it now because I've had this plant for about 3 years, and it has done really well in the 5-gallon bucket, but as you saw, it was falling apart. And so now I had to find it a new home, since that bucket was no longer going to be useful for me in order to keep the plant in there. Now, it looks pretty rough because it was in an area in my garden where it wasn't getting a lot of sun, and the water was very minimal that got to it, and I wasn't able to reach it properly. That's why it looks in pretty rough conditions. But society garlic is a pretty tough plant. It's pretty difficult to kill it. So again, it's gonna look brutal and it's going to seem like I'm trying to kill it, but don't worry, I'm not gonna kill it, and it's not gonna die. It's a very tough plant. It can take the brutality. Now, that being said, and that warning given, I wanted to provide you with a little bit of information for the society garlic. I want to make it perfectly clear that I am in no way, no shape or form a society garlic expert. I am not an expert. I am not claiming to be one. I am only giving you information that I gathered from the research that I did when I received this plant, and some of the experiences that I've had with it here in my garden. So again, I'm not a society garlic expert. Please do your own research. The information that I'm about to give you is information that I personally have experienced with the society garlic, or information that I gathered from the research that I did. But anything else, please go ahead and do your own research with anything. Don't just go by what people tell you. Try to do your own research, your own investigation, and see what fits in your garden. All right, enough about that. So the information that I gathered is that society garlic is native to southern Africa. And it has these grass-like stems, and those stems are bright green and beautiful and healthy from early summer until autumn. And I find that to be true in my garden. They look absolutely beautiful most of the year. They are bright green and just producing flowers most of the year. So yes, they are absolutely a tough plant to kill. So they do great even in my harsh summers. It is said that the society garlic is perfect for zones 7 through 10. And again, in my garden, I am in zone 10A, and it has done extremely well with our summer heat. It has done very, very well. This plant looks rough because, again, it was in the area in my garden that was not getting the same love that my other plants were getting. The society garlic does not spread fast. It spreads out slowly, so it is not invasive. Now, this plant has been in the 5-gallon bucket for about 3 years, and it was still able to stay there, but I feel that because the bucket itself was deteriorating, it was time to move it to another area of my garden. Actually, dividing it and spreading it out throughout the garden. The flowers for the society garlic are different colors. Some of them are pink, some of them are white. The one that I have here that you're seeing on camera, that one is a purple, like a lavender. It's a soft purple, and it's super pretty. I mean, it's very beautiful, and I think the camera will not do it justice when I show you the flowers, but mine is purple and it's just so pretty. The society garlic does enjoy full sun. Now, I have to caution you with that because in my garden and in my area, anytime I read full sun, that is in my area, again, it's not true. Because we have very, very harsh summers, I can't leave a plant to full sun. I do have to shade it a bit from the harsh sun that we get in the summers. So for this plant, normally it gets between 3 to 3.5 hours of shade, and then the rest of the day it's in full sun until the sun goes down. So in your area, I mean, if you're not in an area that has harsh summers, then that would be absolutely true for your area because it does love the sun. Just in my garden and in my growing zone, full sun will kill it. So I have to give it some shade. Now, they do say that the bulbs and the leaves are edible. However, I have not tried eating that. Me personally, the only thing I eat off the plant is the pretty purple flowers. I have not tried eating the bulbs or the stems. If you are going to try it, before you do, please go ahead and do your own research. This is information that I gathered when I was researching the plant, that the bulbs and the stems are edible, but please do your own research. Again, me personally, I have only eaten the flowers. And I like to put them in my eggs. What I do is I cut up a little bit of red onion, and I cut up a little bit of tomato and a little bit of bell peppers, and then I add the flowers and I put all of that into scrambled eggs, and oh my god, it tastes absolutely delicious. Plus, the purple little flowers and the red onion give it a pop of color, and the green bell pepper. I mean, it's beautiful and pleasant for your eyes, also for your nose, and especially for your stomach. So Wow, my mouth just watered. But yes, it tastes absolutely delicious. It has, in my opinion, it has a strong scent and a strong taste to garlic, but it's not overwhelming. It's not like something that you will say, oh, it's too strong for me to eat it. But that is the way that I eat it, or I add a little bit of the flowers to salads. I rarely use it in salads. It's mostly for my eggs, and I love to eat it that way. It is said that it deters moles, repels deer and ticks and fleas and mosquitoes. Now, I do find this to be somewhat true in my garden. And the reason I say somewhat true is because I don't have all these pests, but I do have mosquitoes. And I have noticed when I am around this particular plant, the society garlic, I am not bitten by the mosquitoes. I don't see them around. And of course, I don't get bitten. And when I'm in other areas of my garden, I get eaten by the mosquitoes like there's no tomorrow, right? So yes, they do repel mosquitoes. I can attest to that. This society garlic is said to be from the same family as the onions, and it is drought tolerant. I have proven that in my garden. It is drought tolerant. It can go with very minimal water, and this is one of the reasons that this plant looks pretty rough. But in my garden, it wasn't getting a lot of water, and as you can see, it's still alive, it's still kicking, and it's still wanting to produce and survive for me. It is also a very, very great plant to have for containers. The one that I had it in was a 5-gallon bucket, and as I mentioned, I did have it there for about 3 years, and it did great. I mean, it did look rough like you saw, but that's because I wasn't taking care of it the way that I should have. It was missing a lot of nutrients because it was hard for me to get to it, and it was getting very minimal water and very minimal sun. And as I mentioned, the society garlic does like the sun. In my garden, it cannot be full sun, but it is in mostly sun throughout the day. And it does like to have a little bit of moisture in their soil, at least from what I experienced, but it cannot be soggy, so it has to be well draining soil so that the soil can retain the water it needs but doesn't hold a lot of water because they don't want to be soggy wet. Today is September 13, 2021, and I wanted to show you how our up-potted society garlic was doing. As you can tell, it is doing extremely well. It is super happy and producing a lot of pretty little flowers. Hopefully you try it in your garden. It is a great plant to have. It is edible and it is delicious. Look at how pretty these flowers are. Seeing them through the screen does not give it justice. They are absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Well guys, that's it from Little Bean's Garden. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and sharing this video with your friends. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.